So I hate to say this, but we got a new comp on the PBE for set 5, and you will win every game. I don't care if you have the worst start possible. I don't care if you have the wrong carry for the comp entirely, because that's what happened in this game. And I don't know, this comes at a very awkward time because they normally come up with public beta environment patches every day. But this time, it's going to be a whole weekend before the next patch. So everyone is going to be playing this, so maybe you guys can enjoy 1 or 2 games of this before it's played by like 5 players each game. I actually think it will be played by 5 players in every single one of your games if they want to win. Obviously, it's PBE, the ranking doesn't matter, but winning's still fun, so that's why people will play it. But this is the Abomination comp, and it is different from the one I posted before. This is gonna be like, this is the next big thing, essentially, like for this weekend at least. Maybe someone will figure out a counter. I don't know, we'll see. Hopefully they do, but essentially you just want a bunch of ZZ Rot portals on your Abomination units. And then since the Abomination trait, it says the 3 closest units to the Abomination portal give an item to the Abomination once it spawns. ZZ Rot will work both on your units in game and on the unit spawning from the Abomination. So you could get like 6 ZZ Rot portals in 1 round. And that is a lot of health, that is a lot of utility, that is a lot of damage. You back it up with a strong carry, such as Kale, and then it is just a GG. So right off the bat, I got a bow, because you want either belt or bow to start off the game. And every carousel, you're going to be taking a belt or a bow until you get to 3 ZZ Rots. Trust me, it sounds a little weird, but I promise you it is the best strategy right now. Another thing is that ZZ Rot's a great item for the early game because it's always been that way. So it's normally weak late game, strong early game. So essentially what you do, you just get the freest early and mid game, and then you just go into level 9, roll down for any legendary unit, normally multiple of them, and then you just win the game. So we're going to show you how to do that right here. We are going to buy the Callistas, which is an Abomination unit. The other ones in the early game are Brand at 2 costs, and then what is it? Nunu at 3 costs, then Rise at 4 costs. There's also an Abomination Spatula, which is Spatula plus Glove, but one of them needs to be a Shadow item. But here, I have a bow, I want a belt, and I don't get that right now, so I'll just grab the tier for now. Sword doesn't really do too much in this composition. So apart from ZZ Rot portals, the items you will want are Teemo items and Kale items. Kale items being probably a little more important than the Teemo items. You could also do Heimerdinger items, but any of them will work because you're not guaranteed to get 2 costs of all of them. So whoever you 2 cost, get items for them and you will be set. Luckily, they use all sorts of items. They use AP, they use mana, they use attack damage, and they could even use like the defensive carry items such as Quicksilver or Trapclaw or Guardian Angel. So you have a ton of options there. You will always get good items for them from pretty much any combination of items in the game because you're using all your bows and all your belts to make ZZ Rot portals. And yeah, so on this carousel here, we have a bow, so we want a belt. We are second pick, so I'm going to grab this belt on this Ash really quickly, and we'll just build ZZ Rot. I want you guys to notice, so far we do not have Abominations yet. We don't have 2-star Callista. If you get 2-star Callista, you will win streak with ZZ Rot with a Brand. The entirety of stage 2, almost guaranteed. But we don't even have that yet, so I just put my ZZ Rot on the Vlad. Vlad is just a random 2-star unit I got in the early game. It could be literally any 2-star unit that's sort of frontliney, just put it on him, and you'll be fine. Because ZZ Rot's such a strong early game item, it really doesn't matter what synergies you run with it. You just need some sort of frontliner. So Knights would be good, Brawlers would be good, literally anything that you could put on the front line. So I'm going to sell this Trundle, make interest, and hopefully we get a Brand soon. Don't get one here, so we'll just keep waiting. We're staying level 4. We haven't leveled up yet. In this particular game, I didn't level up early because I thought I'd lose all these rounds because I didn't have an item in the beginning of the game. But I proved myself wrong because apparently no one else leveled up either. So we kind of won a lot of games here, which is great because that means we just get more health and we also have a big economy. So we didn't get punished for that. So that is a good sort of start for this, I will admit. But we don't have the base of our comp yet, and if we don't get that in stage 3, it could be a little troublesome because then we can't go to level 9 as quickly as we would like. Oh, and just to reassure you guys, like for ZZ Rot, you could use either Shadow ZZ Rot or regular ZZ Rot. I like regular more. In the early game, Shadow ZZ Rot is actually better, but I think in the late game, you want the regular ZZ Rot. But it doesn't matter which one you get, build both of them. They're both gonna be fine. You can build them in any sort of combination you want. So we got a tier, cloak, and a bow. So not the best, but we did get a bow, which is nice for ZZ Rot number 2. Let's see how much gold we have. We have 53, so we make a lot of interest. We could level up here. There's the Nunu. So I'll go ahead level up, buy Yasuo for Legionnaire because Callista is also a Legionnaire. Put Abominations in. Unluckily, we don't have a Zizirot for a 2-star unit yet. I think I could keep it on Vlad. Maybe I should have just sold it, but I don't have any other 2 stars than Vlad, so I kind of wanted to keep him in just for now until we get a better unit to replace him with. I feel like in this set so far, synergies don't mean as much as they have in the past. So you just really want 2-star units. There was a time in set 1 and set 2 where you just play any 2 stars that you get, like 2-star 4 cost, 2-star 5 cost, you just play as many as you can. And I think set 5 is going to be a lot like that because a lot of the big traits, they're not that good. I mean, they're all right, but going for like 4, 6, 8 Legionnaire doesn't really do that much more than just having 2 Legionnaires. So I think a lot of the times you just want to end up playing the better unit rather than chasing like high cost or high number synergies. And that might change based on what they do in the patch notes, but we'll just have to keep an eye out for that. Obviously, I'm going to be keeping up with all of this, and you guys can as well by subscribing to my YouTube channel. But we got a belt right here, and yeah, that's just another Zizirot. Simple as that. Now we sell the other guy. We put Callista up front, double Zizirot our team, and then just buy random units. Notice all the other units we have. If we take Lissandra and Yasuo off the board, the other 3 units we run, they literally can be anything. Sorry, I leveled up. So the other 4 units, they can be anything. So I'm just playing random 2 stars. I'm like kind of running Nightbringer, Legionnaire, but like it doesn't really matter. You guys will see soon. All right, so we're against this guy. He's going the Bang Bros comp. He's got an RFC on Yasuo. He's got an IE. I wonder if he is doing it from me or from someone else that he saw before. But yeah, look at this. Sion runs to the back. We have a Zizirot on board already. And Sion, he kills the entire team before he even needs a Zizirot, I guess. This fight's actually kind of long. It's like a wet noodle fight. Everyone does like 0 damage. And they're all just trying to whack each other. I don't know what's going on. They do no damage, but they're so tanky. But I think our Sion wins. That's also a Daisy from Ivern. We'll end up running that later too. But yeah, the final comp. Oh yeah, you guys are probably wondering what the final comp is. It is 3 Abominations or 4. Doesn't really matter. And then you just run all the expensive units plus whatever synergies they have. So Heimerdinger is a Renewer. Teemo is an Invoker, and Kale is a Legionnaire. So you could run Legionnaire already with the Callista on board with Kale for 2 Legionnaire. For Invoker, you run something like Ivern so that you get Daisy. And then you could also run like a God King if you get a 2-star God King, and then run Taric for Knights. But tons of different options. You will also want to run Mystic because Ryze is a Mystic. So I normally put in Kindred because Kindred is one of the best legendaries in the game, because she just essentially says, my carry cannot die for a couple of seconds every time she ultimates. So you just put her right next to your carry. In this game, it will be Kale, hopefully. But we don't even end up getting Kale this game. And the whole point of this comp is just to stall for Kale to get Ascended, and then she destroys everyone. And if you read Kale, by the way, we're just going to pick up a belt here. I think we could go for Shadow or regular. It's early game, so I opted to go for Shadow, but the other guy took it, so we're just going to get the regular belt. But if we read Kale, Kale ascends every 5, 4, and 1 seconds, depending on her level, gaining additional bonuses. So she has 4 different ascensions, and the 4th one means her hits cause swords to rain down on the target, dealing a bunch of magic damage. So essentially, she just has this giant AoE every auto attack, and yeah, think of it as like a mini Ahri ult from set 4, if you guys remember that. But she just does that every auto on her 4th ascension. So that takes 20 seconds at level 1 and 16 seconds at level 2. So all these Zizirots, they just buy you time in order for her to get to that stage, and then she one-shots everything. But you'll see here that the tankiness that the Zizirots give with the Abomination trait, you don't even need Kale. You could use like any carry, and they will just out DPS any tank line. We picked up this Vel'Koz just because like we have a Rod. He's going to be a good item holder for Teemo because Teemo's a great AP item holder in the late game. But we'll just use Vel'Koz as an item holder and then swap the items later. At least that's a plan for now. And we don't even need the other Zizirots quite yet. This is how good the comp is. Imagine if this Sion died, we'd have like 2 more Zizirots. Like there are a bunch of names going on. The founder or the pioneer of this combination, his name is Spencer TFT. I'll leave his links down in the description below. But yeah, I think it's like, but his link is Twitch TV /Spencer_TFT. But I'll leave that like somewhere up here and a link in the description below. He's pretty much the person who created the composition, and he's a very high level challenger player in the past couple of sets. He is like one of the best players in the world for sure. And yeah, once he played this, like everyone just copied him right after that. So pretty interesting stuff to say the least. Yeah, it's completely disgusting. But his name for this was Abomination. I was thinking Abomination with bomb in the name if you run the Shadow Zerg. There's also like maybe Zerg comp. I don't really know, but let me know what your thoughts on that are for the naming in the comments below. And let's see if we beat this guy. Ooh, Syndra knocked the Yasuo out, and then now we just kill him. Nice, nice, nice. I'm not sure why I'm running Syndra, but it just goes to show you, like, we have 0 synergies. We're running like random units. We have a random, we have like a random Sejuani 2-star in, and look at our stage 3. We won every single round, and that's just because of the Abominations. We don't even have 3 Abominations. Imagine if we had a Brand at this point in the game for 3 Abominations. Sion gets a lot stronger. Maybe we have another item for him to give to Sion, but we don't even have that quite yet, which is really nuts that we only lost 1 round this whole game when we have what I think is a bad start. We don't have Kalista 2-star. We only have 2 Abomination. We're running like 3 random units that don't really do too much. Like we have a random Diana in. What is she doing in there? I have no idea. But we got a Draven for Legionnaire, which is nice. We'll take out this Riven, which was giving us Legionnaire before. But Legionnaire doesn't even do anything because Kalista's dying at the start of the fight. So like we're essentially running no synergies. We're running like random Vel'Koz with Spellweaver with Abomination. So I'm just playing random units. Like I don't know what's going on. I don't think I need to know what's going on. I'm going to build a Bloodthirster on Draven because Bloodthirster's a pretty good item on Kayle because you just want her to live long enough for her to ascend. Another good item is the Shadow Zerg. I think that's really good on her too because that gives her CC immunity for the entire fight. And then I'll just Jeweled Gauntlet my Vel'Koz because, well, he's just going to be doing a lot of damage. I would Morello him, but I need to save this belt for the 3rd Zerg, so I'm not going to build Morellos quite yet. Oh, look, we are down to 1 Draven, but we have 3 Zerg on the board. Does he win this fight? He does. This comp is so stupid. All right, so now onto the next armory, we get the Shadow Bow. So we're just going to build Shadow Zerg. Keep in mind, guys, we have not rolled once. At least I don't think we have the entire game. And yeah, we just win streaked everything. We only have 1 2-star on our entire board. And it's kind of been like that the whole time. I think we had like 2 2-stars at one point. It was like Vladimir and Lissandra. But like, are you guys really going to count that 2 1-cost 2-stars as being a strong board? Right now, it's stage 4. We only have Nunu 2-star out there right now. I don't even know what the rest of our team is. But we have 3 Zerg, which I think is good enough. I am going to play Mystic and put this Lux in, and then once I hit Rise or Brand, I'm going to sell her and then put the Zerg on one of those champions. But yeah, you guys will see, like, it just really doesn't matter what the rest of your board is if you have the Abomination trait. Even if we lose one of these games, we'll probably lose by like 1 or 2 units and won't even take that much damage, which I think is the crazy part here. But Vel'Koz is doing some work. Is this guy someone who finally beats us? Okay, nice, nice. We lost a game. It's about time because it's stage 4 and we are running absolute garbage. We're just running random 4-cost units with our team. There's a pair of Vel'Kozes. That could be helpful later. And we finally find Brand on 4-3. We'll play 3 Abominations now with 3 Zerg. And this is where the power really starts to kick in. We'd sell the Ziggs because we have Spellweaver from Brand. Then I'm just going to play another random unit. Because honestly, the other 4 units, they just need to deal some sort of damage. And I think you'll be fine. All right, so first game of this in action. This guy's got a Kalista 2-star. He's got Thresh 2-star, Nautilus 2-star. His whole team's 2-star. We have 1 2-star. And it's not even close. Maybe it's kind of close. We have 1, 2. Technically, it's only a 2-unit loss for him, so I guess it is kind of close. It doesn't look close because we have so many units on our board. But yeah, it's pretty fun times. We spent all our gold into pre-leveling, so we're about to hit level 8. Right after this roll, but we're still not going to roll yet because we want to rush level 9 to get all the legendaries, and we're not threatened. That's what's so good about this composition. You just never feel endangered the entire time. We are last pick. I'm going to go ahead and grab a glove because that's going to make either a Kayle or a Teemo item or Heimerdinger item because it could pretty much work into anything. At worst case, it's like a Hand of Justice right now, which I think is a pretty fine worst case scenario. So yeah, we'll just keep pre-leveling. We'll just play a random unit here. It really doesn't matter who. I threw Lux in for Mystic, so I guess you guys can like take notes on that if we even need to take notes for this game. Draven is attacking their big tank. This guy's playing Aphelios. The one counter to this comp is probably Giant Slayer Aphelios, because Aphelios hits all targets on the board, but our Vel'Koz cleaned him up before he could do anything, so that was actually pretty convenient. You know, a lot of people are playing this with Kayle, which is the best unit to do it with, but maybe Vel'Koz is like a pretty close second because he has good backline access, and you notice that Sion always charges to the top right, so Vel'Koz zaps the top left, you kind of take care of both corners of each carry, wherever people hide their carries. And maybe that's like one way to do it, you know? I don't know if that's the best way yet. The game just came out a couple days ago, so it's impossible to know for sure. But maybe experiment in your games. Do you want Vel'Koz hitting the same targets as Sion, or do you want him to hit different targets? Because maybe you want to hit the same, maybe you want to hit different. It probably depends on the matchup as well. So honestly, let's just skip to the neutral round because the other... Like, we won the other match. I don't know if I need to say anything. We get Draven 2 there. We get Lulu 2. Oh, and keep in mind, guys, we did this without 2-star Kalista and 2-star Brand. So imagine if we had those in Stage 2 or Stage 3. The game would be a lot easier. But we'll hand adjust this, probably the Vel'Koz, and just go from there. We're still pretty far from level 9. We are like 40 gold away. We'll probably level up on either, maybe on Stage 5-5 right after the carousel. And that way we'll have a ton of gold to roll down with and hit all the legendary units. Another good thing about this is that since we have so much health, we can afford to buy Teemo. So if you ever wanted to try to go for like Teemo 3, this is the weekend to do it in. And ideally, like right after you see this video, you should be playing this before it catches on by every player. Look at this guy. He's saying, what the F is wrong with you? So yeah, he's already pretty mad about this. I could see this comp as being something like annoying to people, but it's pretty funny to see, right? I bet they made the Abomination trait to do stuff exactly like this. It's like made to give an extra proc on an item that triggers on death. So that's probably why they changed the old Redemption. Maybe that was too strong, but this ZZ Rot stuff is also proving to be pretty strong as well. So just one more fight until we reach level 9, then we can start rolling. We are at 87 health. I unbounded the D key from my keyboard. I took off the keycap, and yeah, the same exact thing would have happened. Let's see what this Vel'Koz does. He's still level 1. He's got the spell crit, but I feel like he's not doing quite enough damage to one-shot everyone yet. Ooh, this Aphelios 2-star is actually doing a lot of work. This is after Aphelios got nerfed as well, but I forgot if I won this fight. Ooh, Vel'Koz, not even close. He's able to clean that up, which is pretty nice. We get to keep our win streak gold, and yeah, just go from there. So it's our turn to pick now. The Evil Trapclaw, not that great. Chalice is okay, but I'm thinking we get a Morello. That way our Vel'Koz has like a little more value in the late game, because you could do 2 builds on Vel'Koz. I think one is a Morello build with like a bunch of mana items, and the other one's a build we have right now, which is Jeweled Gauntlet and like full damage. You go like Jeweled Gauntlet, Hat, Quicksilver. That'd probably be the best build in my opinion, but I feel like Morello is fine in the late game because he might not one-shot some carries in the late game, and people play Kindred, so sometimes you just literally can't kill whoever you're targeting. But yeah, we'll just slap the Morello on him. Morello's going to be good on Teemo later in the game as well. But we'll start rolling here. We did reach 50 gold. There's Ivern for Invoker. And then there is a Kindred for Mystic. We'll put Kindred in next round. We could replace the Lux, I think. Right now we're playing Lux and Syndra for Invoker, Invoker, Mystic, and Redeemed. And Redeemed is a trait for Vel'Koz. It just gives him more ability power, magic resist, and armor. So it's like a decent buff, but you don't run that in the late game. I'm just running that temporarily in order to reach the late game. And we still have the 2 Legionnaire for Draven, so I think he's fine on that front. Because yeah, with the Kalista, you get that trait. Okay, so now we get a Teemo. We deal 6 damage to ourselves. Be careful with Teemo. If you are low life, you could kill yourself by buying Teemo. Oh, there's Kindred 2, and there's Rise. Finally, we get the 4th Abomination. I think we take out some of the Mystics now. We take out some of the redeemed people now. So we could take out Syndra and Lux to play Ivern and Rise. That keeps Mystic and Invoker. There's another Teemo. Ivern, I'll just buy Viego for fun, and there's Vel'Koz too, so that's pretty nice. By the way, if you guys are having trouble following the new champions, like, don't worry about it, because eventually you will learn all the new champions. It just takes time. Like, I still don't know all of them. But the more you play the game, the more used to it you will get. By the way, I'm also holding on to Tarek because he is a knight, and when I play a God King later, which is Garen or Darius, he's going to be pretty useful to have, just because Tarek's probably one of the better support units this game. He does a ton of healing, and it's really nice. But yeah, look at this Kayle. She's fully ascended, and she is doing, like, tons of damage to us. So we end up losing this round, which kind of sucks, but whatever. All right, so we got a Spear of Shojin from the Dragon. There's another Vel'Koz. Maybe we go for Vel'Koz 3. I'm really looking for Kayle, but since the other person has Kayle 2-star already, it's going to be a little hard to find. There's Garen, who is a God Knight. I'll put Shojin on Kindred so that she ultimates more to protect my carries. That way, the Kayle lives longer once I get her. And yeah, I'll just set up my team like this. Ryze and Kindred have 3 range, and Teemo and Vel'Koz have 4 range. So they're not going to get stuck in the backline by doing this positioning. So this is the Aphelios guy. He did almost beat us last time. He moved his Aphelios to the top right corner. That way we can't one-shot him. Let's see how well we do here. You know, Vel'Koz, he does like no damage until he does a lot of damage. I don't really know how to describe it. Like his first couple of seconds where he zaps people, I feel like the health bars don't move, but then all of a sudden they just disappear off the face of the earth. I wonder if it ramps up in damage. Let me check really quickly. He does the same amount of damage each second from what the tooltip says, at least from what I'm reading online. So I guess he's just critting on some procs, and he didn't in the beginning, and it's just a coincidence. I'm not really too sure. But yeah, let's roll down a little more. We're still looking for Teemo 2. We're still looking for 1 copy of Kayle, because that'd be really helpful. We are at 61 gold. I'm trying to fit Heimer in, but there really isn't any space at this point, because I need to use Draven as an item holder for Kayle, and then Vel'Koz is the item holder for Teemo, but I don't want to drop Teemo or drop Vel'Koz quite yet because I only have Teemo 1-star, and I only have Heimer 1-star. So the AP items can go on either Teemo or Heimerdinger. It's just whoever you 2-star first will probably get the items. So I sold those. Maybe I get Vel'Koz 3 because we are at that point where I have like 50 gold. We have 5 copies of Vel'Koz. We're level 9. There's a pretty high chance to get a Vel'Koz 3, so that's what I'm hoping for right now. And if that's the case, we don't even need to hit Teemo or Heimerdinger. We could just keep the items on Vel'Koz. Yeah, we just clean up a fight there. These fights are so easy. I think we still have 1-star frontline. Yeah, we're still 1-star Callista, still 1-star Brand. There is the 2-star of that. There's a Garen. The thing is, like, when I was playing this, I didn't know how to fit Garen in. So I'm going to wait till I get Tarek 2 before I put Garen in. And we are facing someone who's running evil synergy, so we don't need Darius. Garen's going to be better for bonus damage. There's another Vel'Koz, so we're 2 off, which is actually pretty close. I think, yeah, there's got to be some person that Garen is better than. Probably Ryze, if I don't need the Mystic. I'm not sure if I do or not. But yeah, we'll buy this Brand. Maybe we get Brand 2 in stage 6. So this is the Kayle guy. He's also running Draven. Probably running a lot of Legionnaires. Oh no, Vel'Koz missed the Kayle on the first ultimate. He needs to get him on this next one. Luckily, our front line is still alive, and then Kindred is going to give our team invulnerability. Look at that, beautiful. I guess that he wasn't dealing damage. Kayle got stunned, but oh, Vel'Koz cleaned up. I guess you don't need Kayle. Kayle would be ideal though, right? Because it's the strongest legendary in the late game, I think, if it's a long fight. But I'm gonna grab this magic or Shadow Quicksilver Sash, because if I get Vel'Koz 3, I could pop off a different item off of Vel'Koz and just put the QSS on him. That way he can never get interrupted, and he'll just have a jolly old time by using that. I'll put it on Draven temporarily, and then I'll sell Draven later once I get Vel'Koz 3, and then pop the items off of him. If you guys don't know what I mean by item pop, if you have 3 items on a champion, and then you complete an upgrade on the champion, if you put a different item on someone else, you could replace the 3 items on that current champion. So if you don't like the 3 item combo you have, or if you have an incredible item to put on, such as this Quicksilver Sash that I have, it's one way to do it. I'll show how to do this in detail in a different video. But until then, like, you guys just have to trust me, you know? But yeah, we'll put the QSS on Draven for now. And once we get the Vel'Koz 3, we'll sell the Draven and then put all the items on Vel'Koz. We missed Kayle again with the ultimate. But then we got her on like the snapback when he like was retargeting using his little laser thing. I don't really know what it's called. It's coming out of his eyeball, so he's kind of like Cyclops from X-Men, I guess. But he's He's like an alien or something like that. So we're at 8 gold. Unfortunate, we couldn't really hit the Vel'Koz 3. This guy's on 17 life. There's like a small chance he beats us, but like how are we supposed to fit in this Garen? I don't know. Maybe we take out Legionnaires. I was thinking we take out Callista and Draven, but then no one uses a Bloodthirster, so maybe that's not worth it. I'm not really too sure. It feels bad leaving 2-star Taric, 2-star Garen on my bench, but you know, sometimes that's just how life is, I guess. Like, I definitely should be putting them in. It's PBE, who really cares? And then also, like, I don't know. Like, we've been winning anyways, so maybe we don't need to change anything too much, especially when we're not that familiar with the set. And we keep missing Kayle. I wonder if there's like a better positioning for this Vel'Koz to always hit the top left corner person. I mean, he got it back eventually. And okay, so nothing else here. But yeah, no Vel'Koz 3. I guess we didn't need Kayle or Vel'Koz 3 to win. And you could win with Brand 1 on your board in the late game or throughout the whole game. This guy says, did you have a bad childhood?
It's only a game. Why you have to be mad?
Yeah, I don't know. A little toxic from this guy. What's his name? I think it was Ildaris or something like that. Shame on you. You should be acting a little more mature. But yeah, that's pretty much it from me today. And I hope that you guys have fun with this comp, because everyone's going to be playing it. Like, I guarantee you, like 4+ players are going to be playing this weekend, and then they'll definitely fix it on Monday. And yeah, we'll have another discovery after that, I guess. But I am really looking forward to set 5. If you guys are new, I'm going to release a ton of guides with like a bunch of high challenger players, some guides I make myself, and of course the tier list every single Friday. And these will all be posted here on my channel and on my website at bunnymuffins.lol. So subscribe if that is of any interest to you. And if you are returning, like, yeah, we'll be doing the same exact stuff we've been doing every other TFT set. So if you enjoyed what I've been doing before, you'll definitely like what I'm doing in set 5 even more, because I'm bringing a lot more people on the team. I have an editor now who's helping out with like a ton more videos than I have in the past. So that is like another, like, there'll be a lot more content. So just subscribe. But yeah, I'll see you guys later.